was only one major motorcycle race meeting at Goodwood in the old days, but they haven't been forgotten at the revival, with a race in memory of the unforgettable Barry Sheene. For a motorcycle racing nutter like me, it's an Aladdin's cave of fabulous 60s racers.
Originally known as the Lennox Cup, the motorcycle race at the Goodwood Revival was renamed in honour of the great Barry Sheene, a Goodwood regular until his death in 2002. Contested over 2 legs on the Saturday and Sunday, the first race saw former World 500cc champion Wayne Gardner mastering the wet conditions on his matchless G50 to take the checkered flag ahead of the Manx Nortons of Duncan Fitchett and Tim Jackson. Clearly, Wayne was the man in form.
Wayne is so well sorted around here, whether it's wet or dry, his bike's running fantastically well, he's on form, so he's hard work, but never say die, as every racer, that's every racer's motto, so we'll give it our best shot and see what happens.
Great stuff, thanks a lot. Well, it's now back to Murray and the race.
Thanks, Amanda. What a great day this is. Well, it's jacket off, tie off, headphones on, back to my first love, motorbikes. Let's have a look at the grid. On the front row of the grid, world champion Wayne Gardner on the matchless G50, with Charles Mortimer, ex-TT winner many times, British Superbike champion Neil Mackenzie on the Manx Norton, Malcolm Clark, who's gone extremely well in practicing, is in 4th position on the grid. Then Duncan Fitchett, that's a man to watch, as is Tim Jackson. Down goes the flag, and away they go, and a brilliant start by number 11, Tim Jackson. Now, that's the man in the very distinctive full fairing, the white full fairing. There he is, number 11, into the right-hander, the first right-hander at Madgwick. This Goodwood is the fastest racetrack in Britain. It's got no slow corners. The chicane is the slowest one of all, but they flick through that pretty darn quickly. And it's Duncan Fitchett. Behind Duncan Fitchett, number 36 in the orange helmet on the Manx Norton is Charles Mortimer, and Tim Jackson slicing his way through on the inside to take both of them. The weather conditions here at Goodwood are bad, bad, bad for motorcycle racing, because although it is not raining and although the track is drying out, you can see that there are wet patches all the way round. It's very greasy indeed. Two-wheel vehicles, just a tiny contact patch from the front tyre and the rear tyre, and there's something like well over 50 horsepower from the good ones, 58 horsepower from the Walmsley G50 matchless, which Wayne Gardner is riding. But Duncan Fitchett is the man. Number 1 is the man too, and that is Wayne Gardner. There he is, going through on the outside, past Neil Mackenzie, 45-year-old Scotsman, and you're looking now at Wayne Gardner on the left, Neil Mackenzie on the right, both world champions. They're up behind Charles Mortimer, and Charles Mortimer is in 2nd place behind Duncan Fitchett, who's looking to make a break for it. Duncan Fitchett, number 17, he's on a Molnar Manx Norton, one of the famous featherbed Nortons, and across the line he goes at the end of the first lap. Obviously, Fitchett the fastest man so far. Jackson goes up into 2nd position. Charles Mortimer into 3rd place. Wayne Gardner, I suspect, is just playing a waiting game. Here's a replay of the start, and you see Tim Jackson in the white fairing machine, that's a G50 matchless, bursting his way through to get right up towards the front. He was in terrific form at Goodwood last year in this Barry Sheene Memorial Trophy event, and it looks as though he's maintaining the standard this year. Wayne Gardner up into 2nd place ahead of number 11, Tim Jackson. He's well up into 6th position now. How time flies when you're enjoying yourself. Duncan Fitchett is leading. Wayne Gardner is 2nd, Jackson is 3rd. And they're closing up on each other now. A gap before number 8, Mick Hemmings, battling with 29. Clark goes through, Malcolm Clark. But the battle for the lead at the front is really something. Tim Jackson, number 11, who is in such terrific form at Goodwood last year, has pulled the bung out and he's really going for it. Fitchett leads. Gardner is in 2nd, Jackson is in 3rd place. Then there's a gap, and it's Mackenzie, Rutter and Mortimer. 2 lots of 3 battling for the first 6 positions. Who's going to win? You tell me. Down to the chicane. This is where the line matters, and Duncan Fitchett's got it. They're looking, of course, now for dry patches
where they can get maximum grip. The tyres won't be overheating. All together now. Number 1, Gardner. Number 17, Fitchett. Behind them, number 11, Tim Jackson. And the circuit's drying out on the right-hander at Madgwick. And look at this for style. You can see the whole rider. They get their knees out on the corner. Flick the gear lever with the right foot to change gear. Left-hand gear, left hand for the clutch, of course. And Jackson going through. Unbelievable. Tim Jackson ahead of Duncan Fitchett up into second place. Is he challenging for the lead? He's got it. I do not believe what I'm seeing. Oh, and down goes Trevor Barnes. That's the only 350 Guzzi, Italian Guzzi in the race. Well and truly out of it now. All together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. Absolutely together on the track. Tremendously close racing. Coming up to lap tail enders. Now, this is going to be very tricky indeed. And the leaders are carving in, out, in, every which way. Wade Gardner looks over his shoulder. There is Duncan Fitchett right behind him, tucked in behind the screen. And they pull away from the tail enders as they pass now. And it's going to be anybody's race. It's a typical detail at Goodwood that the corn stooks have been stacked in the old-fashioned way, and they've got people out of retirement. There's nobody out of retirement in this race. They're in it with a vengeance, active. And Wayne Gardner, as I suspected, is making a break for it. He's studied form, he knows what's happening, he knows where they're all going in terms of line, braking and gear changing, what's happening here. Surging round on the outside and losing it and dropping it altogether. We've seen it already. That's Trevor Barnes on the Guzzi. Into the gravel on the outside, and he looks as though he's perfectly all right, trying to pick the bike up. That's the situation at the end of 7 laps, but here is Wayne Gardner coming up now towards the completion of the 8th and final lap at Goodwood to clinch yet another brilliant victory. He's come all the way from Australia for this event with his charming wife Tony, and it's been a journey that's well worthwhile, because Wayne Gardner takes the checkered flag, demonstrates his satisfaction by going out as you see him. Great ride, Wayne, well done. And Duncan Fitchett second, Tim Jackson number 11 in 3rd position ahead of Neil Mackenzie number 21, and in 5th place Charles Mortimer, 6th to complete the leaderboard, as it were, Gordon Russell.
Wayne Gardner, what a fabulous race that was, and it looked for a while like you were having a real dice.
Well, in the beginning, you know, the pace has picked up from yesterday. The guys obviously a bit more understand these conditions better now, so the pace was faster. And secondly, I wasn't sure how to pass them, when to pass them, particularly with the amount of water out there. And then once I started to get a bit of a clear track and tried to put a bit of a cushion between us. And yeah, no, it was a good race. I enjoyed it, and I always enjoy coming here and racing for the fans, and it's great to be here.